Well, you're looking smaller, Chief. Yes or no? Tell us.
Well, we're getting ready to put together the last cabinet that goes here. It's a sink base. And I want you to come in close and look at this.
Where are we in the house? This is the laundry area.
Yeah, I want you to see why I put scribes on my cabinets. If you look at the wall, you can see we have a high spot. And that is well over an 1/8 of an inch bump in the wall.
Now, why do we have that? You did the framing here. What happened?
I don't know. It's probably spackle.
All
But
right.
if you didn't have a scribe on the cabinet, if you had a European style cabinet that was just flat, you would be pushed off the wall with that bump.
We'll see.
And it could interfere with the installation of the cabinets. So what I like to do before I build the cabinet in tight spots like this, I like to fit the face frame to see what I have to adjust. So this is where this cabinet goes. We're a little bit tight where I probably could get the cabinet in, but I don't want to damage the paint on the wall. So I'm going to probably joint about a 32nd off the cabinet so it'll go in smoothly.
So that gives you a really comfortable way to fit things without wrestling with the whole cabinet.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So this cabinet's going to be tough to get in anyway because it's not as deep as a typical cabinet. It's only 20 inches deep or 19 inches deep. So we got to kind of come in on an angle and fold it in through the pipes.
Well, you know, Chief, I think a lot of people would not think of doing it that way. And by the scribe, what you're referring to is the side fits
here.
into this dado.
So now when the side is in here, that bump is not going to interfere with the side of the cabinet.
So the sides of the cabinet give you, more wiggle room getting into your space. Very nice.
Yeah, and if, someone says, well, I'm losing a 1/4 inch out of my cabinet, I mean, so what?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then today you're also going to show us your specialty technique for making,
Yeah, we're going to put a bead detail in all these openings.
just like we have here.
Yeah, you can see it here. And you can also see it on the Sapelli cabinet out here.
All right. The Sapelli masterpiece.
If you look right here.
Well, I'm looking at the,
Yeah, we have one under the crown,
wow.
and then we put one under the solid crown, and then followed it down around the openings.
This is a 3/8 bead. It's a little larger because it's a bigger cabinet. I thought it would stand out better.
Yeah, I'm going to step back so we can get a look at this magnificent group. This is a two-sided group. What's the whole length of this group? About 14
About 14
feet?
feet, yeah.
Yeah. These
You can see
vitrine
it, yeah.
cabinets on the ends.
With the light, and I'm going to show you the right and the wrong way to make this bead. This is a detail that needs to be refined and accurate
Really precise.
because that's what your eye goes to when you look at it.
Show us the back of this, Rich, while we're here. Let's look at the back of this group. Wow, just wow.
This is a big cabinet group. It took about 4 months to build it.
And this is your client's study.
Yeah.
So you've got accommodation in the drawers for hanging files. If you open up this cabinet door here by your right knee, right, we've got power inside the cabinet for printers or scanner, something like that.
All we did was put a tiny little stop block
Yeah,
for the door. That's
Don't-
all you need.
don't need a lot.
And you can see by using the melamine when you open the cabinet how bright it is in there.
Show us the file drawers. Bamboo. And then all the drawers, show us a couple of the upper drawers.
Yeah, it has like a synthetic pigskin in the bottom.
We're using a product from Ultra Leather called Pro Mesa, and it's got a nice pebbled texture and all sorts of colors available. There's mustard paint in this room, and so we've chosen a leather that complements that nicely.
We decided instead of making 3 separate friction drawers, we made one divided drawer on hardware. It just turned out better. Put the inlay in the top because it's a big top, and I just wanted more detail in it.
I built these drawer fronts, and this is, I got the idea on how to do this from Smallbone. I've got a central rail with stiles, if you look at the build, and then on the face of it there is a 1/8 inch veneer going all the way across it, and then I've carefully just put a kerf in the front. I built it this way for stability, because it's a rather wide drawer to just do out of one flat piece of lumber. So that was a lot of fun to build.
And then the upper cabinets, we used Sapelli veneer in the back.
Boy, that's classy.
We painted the screws and the washers brown.
Yeah, they just disappear.
You know, it's just stuff like that. We have the shelves on dowels, just wooden dowels.
They disappear.
You know, people like details like this, you know.
And we love building it.
And,
It's not about fast, is it?
no.
You hear so much.
You can't build something like this fast. You know, it's all joinery. It's dados, and the backs are dadoed into the sides. The face frames are dadoed into the sides.
And even the way your hardware, show us how your hinges are installed.
These, we had a very deep face frame, so we had to block out. You know, even though you see it through the glass, you know, you're not really looking at it. Once the shelves are in it and it's loaded with what you're putting in it, it's all gonna
Objet d'art or china or crystal or something like that, I think is what we have in mind here.
And what we did, this yellow soffit is actually MDF. It's not sheetrock, and we built the soffit and then put it up there. We didn't frame it and then sheathe it. We built it and put it up there. And what we did, where I had butt joints in the MDF, I beveled the edges of them. So now you only have to fill that tiny little groove with putty and sand it off instead of fairing in tape and spackle. It works out much nicer like that.
Really elegant. In a word, superb. Very nice, Danny.
Okay, so now we're going to go downstairs and we're going to talk about the bead molding.
All right, that'll be our next video.
Okay.
Thanks, Chief.